Hey everyone! We are working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content and it is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button right now as we proceed. The Toronto Blue Jays just dropped some information that should have every single team in the American League absolutely terrified right now, and if you're not paying attention to what Dylan Cease is working on behind the scenes, you're missing the biggest story of spring training. We're talking about a pitcher who already has elite stuff, who already strikes out batters at an absurd rate, who already makes opposing hitters look foolish with his slider, now adding a completely new weapon to his arsenal that could transform him from a very good pitcher into an absolutely dominant ace. The kind of pitcher who wins Cy Young awards and carries teams deep into October. Dylan Cease is developing a changeup, folks, and if he can make this pitch work the way he's envisioning, the rest of the American League is in serious trouble. Let me break down exactly why this matters so much, what it means for the Blue Jays rotation, and why opening day cannot get here fast enough. First, let's set the stage for why this development is generating so much buzz within the organization. Kevin Gausman, one of the Blue Jays veteran starters who's seen just about everything in this game, was watching Dylan Cease throw a bullpen session yesterday and came away genuinely impressed by something he noticed. Gausman pointed out that you literally cannot see the ball coming out of Cease's hand. The ball hides behind his back during his delivery, then emerges from right behind his head, creating an optical illusion that makes it incredibly difficult for hitters to pick up. That's not something you can teach. That's not something you can develop through mechanical adjustments. That's a natural advantage in his delivery that makes every pitch more deceptive, and now he's adding another pitch to exploit that advantage. The more we're seeing and hearing about Dylan Cease from his new teammates, the more it becomes clear that he's going to be absolutely elite next season. There's no doubt about it in my mind. But one of the biggest reasons why, and this is what fans aren't talking about nearly enough, is specifically what Keegan Matheson reported. Dylan Cease is actively working to add a changeup this spring, a pitch that will help him get left-handed hitters out more effectively. And just as importantly, his main goal heading into this season is consistency. Consistency in his command, consistency in his approach, consistency in his results. For somebody who's already been as dominant as Cease has been throughout his career, the idea of him adding a legitimate changeup to his arsenal is genuinely horrifying if you're an opposing batter. Think about what you're already dealing with when you face Dylan Cease. You've got a four-seam fastball that sits in the mid-90s with good life. You've got a slider that's one of the nastiest pitches in all of baseball, a pitch that makes hitters look absolutely foolish even when they know it's coming. And you've got a guy whose delivery naturally hides the ball, making it even harder to pick up what's being thrown. Now add a changeup that can neutralize left-handed hitters and give him another weapon to keep batters off balance, and you're looking at a completely different pitcher. Let's look at the numbers from last season because they tell an interesting story about what Cease is working to improve. If you pull up his Baseball Savant page from 2025, you'll see that he only used his changeup 1% of the time. 1%. That's essentially nothing. He threw it so rarely that it might as well not have existed in his repertoire. When we say he's adding a new pitch, we mean he's legitimately adding a weapon he hasn't relied on before. Yes, technically he's thrown changeups in the past, but so infrequently that it was never a real part of his arsenal. Now he's developing a completely new version of the pitch, refining it, making it a legitimate weapon he can deploy regularly. Looking at his career numbers, you can see the pattern that explains why he's focused on this specific development. In 2024, Cease posted a 3.47 ERA, which is solid. The year before that, 4.58. His strikeout numbers have always been elite. He was 6th in all of Major League Baseball in strikeouts last season, 99th percentile in strikeout rate. The guy can absolutely miss bats when he's on. But the advanced analytics point to one specific weakness. He's struggled more against left-handed hitters throughout his career, and the changeup is specifically designed to eliminate that weakness. Here's where it gets really interesting from a baseball nerd perspective. Left-handed batters have historically hit Cease better than righties. The platoon split is real and measurable. But a good changeup neutralizes that advantage because it moves away from left-handed hitters, making it incredibly difficult to square up. If Cease can develop a changeup he trusts, a pitch he can throw in any count to lefties, he suddenly becomes exponentially more dangerous because hitters can't just sit on his fastball and slider anymore. Cease has also mentioned that he's been training at the Blue Jays Player Development Complex for over 2 weeks already, getting a head start on spring training preparation. He's currently working on his fastball shape and command while simultaneously developing this new changeup. His main stated goal is to achieve more consistency in 2026, and that word consistency is crucial to understanding where he's at mentally and what he's trying to accomplish. When you look at his career, consistency has been the one thing that's eluded him at times. Some starts he looks completely unhittable, mowing through lineups like they're little league hitters. Other starts he walks too many batters, gives up hard contact, and labors through 5 innings. Last season he posted a 4.55 ERA, which is decidedly mediocre for a pitcher with his stuff. He walked a ton of batters, 98th percentile in walk rate, which means he gave up the 7th most walks in all of baseball. He also gave up too many home runs and allowed too many hits. Those are all symptoms of inconsistent command and approach. But here's the exciting part. If Dylan Cease can harness his elite stuff with better command and add a changeup that gives him another weapon against lefties, you're looking at a completely different pitcher. You're looking at a guy who could legitimately challenge for a Cy Young award. And guess who's on the team to help him develop that changeup? Shane Bieber, who happens to have one of the best changeups we've seen in baseball over the past decade or two. Shane Bieber spoke recently about wanting to be back with the Blue Jays, about how his family wanted to return, and about how he feels good physically moving forward. When asked if he felt anything concerning during the postseason or afterward, he replied with a simple no. Bieber is dealing with a minor setback that will delay his season debut, but he's going to be back sooner than most people think. He's continuing to play catch and progressing through his long toss program. He was advised to take it slow because he's still less than 2 years removed from Tommy John surgery, but there's nothing alarming about his current status. Now imagine the potential here. You've got Dylan Cease, a right-handed pitcher trying to develop an elite changeup, working side by side with Shane Bieber, another right-handed pitcher who already has an elite changeup. They can exchange ideas. They can watch video together. Bieber can explain his grip, his release point, his mental approach to throwing the pitch. That's invaluable knowledge transfer that money can't buy. Having a future Hall of Fame caliber pitcher like Bieber available as a resource for Cease development could be absolutely game-breaking. Looking at the projected rotation on the depth chart, Cease is scheduled to get the most starts alongside Kevin Gausman. Trey Savage will get significant innings as well. Cody Ponce is in the mix. Shane Bieber is still penciled in for about 15% of starts despite the delayed start to his season. And Jose Barrios rounds out the group. Dylan Cease is being positioned as the leader of this pitching staff for years to come. He signed that mega deal that keeps him in Toronto for the next 5 years minimum. He's the guy. He's the ace. And with that responsibility comes the pressure to be consistently excellent, not just occasionally dominant. But let's shift gears and talk about something else that's generating buzz out of Blue Jays camp, because John Schneider just gave what might be the most important quote of the entire spring training. When asked about his message to the team heading into this season, Schneider was crystal clear about his expectations. We're not defending anything. We're not defending the AL East. We're not defending the American League. We're attacking 2026 like we did in 2025. We're trying to win the division. We're trying to win the World Series. That quote is absolutely perfect, and it shows genuine growth from Schneider as a manager. He's been through the ringer at times. He's faced criticism for bullpen decisions. He's dealt with high-pressure playoff situations. He's navigated clubhouse drama. But that quote shows he understands something crucial. You cannot live in the past. You cannot rest on what you accomplished last year. Every team starts at 0 wins, and the only thing that matters is what you do moving forward. Keegan Matheson nailed it when he said that celebrating an American League championship is fine for marketing and merchandise, but that's it. The job is to keep momentum moving forward with no stalls, and Schneider absolutely crushed that message today. It makes you want to run through a wall. It makes you excited for baseball to start. And it sets the perfect tone for a team that has unfinished business after coming so close to ultimate glory. The vibes around this Blue Jays team are genuinely better than anyone expected, and that's saying something considering they just came off a World Series appearance. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. spoke to the media and said something that raised a lot of eyebrows. "We acquired new players, great players. I think this is going to be more fun than last year. I'm actually happier than last year. For whatever reason, I'm happier and feeling great. I have good feelings about this year." Now, that quote sparked immediate speculation about whether there was tension between Vlad and Bo Bichette last season, but I don't think that's what he's referring to at all. Think about what Vlad went through last year. He was dealing with constant contract negotiation distractions. Every interview included questions about his future. Every at-bat was analyzed through the lens of his impending free agency. That mental burden is exhausting. Now he's signed for the next 15 years of his life. That uncertainty is gone. He can just play baseball and enjoy the game again. Of course he's happier. The vibes are at an all-time high. The clubhouse feels fantastic. We're seeing Ricky Tiedemann take the mound in live bullpen sessions. We're seeing veterans like Gaussman excited about new teammates. We're seeing young players like Trey Savage continuing to develop. Everything is pointing in the right direction, and all that's needed to make it even better is getting off to a hot start when the season begins against the Oakland Athletics. Dylan Cease working on a changeup might seem like a minor detail to casual fans, but it's the kind of thing that separates good teams from championship teams. It's the kind of development that can turn a solid rotation into an absolutely dominant one. If Cease can become the consistent ace the Blue Jays believe he can be, if Shane Bieber can return healthy and contribute, if Trey Savage continues progressing, this pitching staff has legitimate championship potential. So here's what I need from you right now. Smash that like button if you're fired up about Dylan Cease adding a changeup to his arsenal. Drop a comment below telling me how many wins you think Cease gets this season with his new weapon. And absolutely hit that subscribe button because spring training games are starting soon, we've got exclusive insider content coming tomorrow, and you're not going to want to miss a single development as this championship roster takes shape. The Blue Jays are coming for everybody this year, and it all starts with Dylan Cease becoming the ace this team desperately needs. Let's go!